Right there. Best for business. You know what's not best for business? The fucking show from last night. It was fucking terrible. Oh, man. This show was fucking garbage last night. It was so bad. I can't even believe they put on a show that sucks so much ass. I mean, without John Cena there, without Sheamus there, what the fuck, man? Monday Night Raw, episode September 2nd, 2013, and this show was just fucking terrible. I mean, it was just so bad. And if I have to use Triple H or Stephanie McMahon or even AJ Lee or anybody use the phrase best for business again, my head's just gonna fucking explode, alright? I will just blow up because how many times? 7,000, 8,000 times they said it last night? That's what it felt like to me. Jesus, man, get off of it. It was just ridiculous. So this show opens, you got Triple H, he's out there, Shield's protecting him again. For what reason, I don't even fucking understand that, but I'll talk about that in a different video. Orton comes out, and I liked this because it didn't take Triple H 10 fucking minutes to get Orton out to the ring like it has happened in all the weeks previous since SummerSlam. And this promo, I actually was kind of happy because Triple H wasn't talking too much during this opening segment compared to what he has been. But see, what they did was, instead of giving me 20 minutes of Triple H in the opening segment, they gave me like 40 minutes of Triple H spread out across the entire show. And that is fucking stupid. That's even worse. I hated it. I mean, come on, man. This shit. I did like that they let Randy Orton talk for a little bit this time. And when Daniel Bryan came out, he said that Randy's got the genetics of a champion, but he doesn't have the heart of a champion. I liked what Daniel Bryan was saying. I liked hearing Orton on the mic instead of Triple H. And then they even brought up the Big Show's ironclad contract. And at first I was thinking, what the fuck? I thought they had forgotten about that, because that's just what the WWE does. But it turns out it was the first step in it was the first step in falling down a flight of stairs that led to a cesspool of garbage involving the Big Show for the evening. So overall, this opening segment, it took too fucking long again, like always, but I did like Randy Orton on the mic and Daniel Bryan on the mic more than Triple H. But it was just a disguise. It was just a facade for the garbage that was to come. And it didn't take long for that to start happening, because up next was The Miz versus Fandango, and I don't care about this match. I don't care about this feud, because I don't care about The Miz. As a face, he's fucking boring as hell. I can't stand him. Miz broke Fandango's nose at some point. At least that's what the commentators were saying. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I don't care, because it's The Miz, and honestly, Fandango against The Miz, I just don't give a shit. And then Miz he looked like a douche trying to put the figure 4 on and failing miserably at it, but he eventually got it in and made Fandango tap out. He won. Who gives a shit? Next up was something. It was entertaining. It was a video package of what happened last week between CM Punk and Paul Heyman. That was cool, but there wasn't any new footage there. It was just a video package of what happened last week. Not really contributing to this week's show. Next was Dolph Ziggler versus Ryback. And before Ryback got out there, Dean Ambrose attacked Ziggler from behind. And Ziggler, he was all just easy pickings for Ryback when he came out. Now let me talk about Ryback. This fucking guy, what is the WWE doing to Ryback? They're trying to make him as generic as possible. I mean, his Vince McMahon swagger walk down to the ring, he just looked fucking stupid. I wasn't buying into it. And what I'm talking about with the generic is his outfit, his ring attire. There was some kind of design on there, but I could barely see it. It looked to me like a fucking human chessboard, just black crossed with white. It was fucking stupid. He's fucking terrible. He's a generic piece of trash at this point. And the match was crap. I mean, Dolph Ziggler, it was a squash match. It was a squash match, basically. It sucked. Ryback won. I don't give a shit. Oh, man. Oh, man. Here comes Stephanie McMahon and The Big Show. I think I have Stephanie McMahon versus The Big Show in my notes. That would have been a hell of a lot more fucking entertaining, because what we got was just a debacle, man. It was a fucking disaster, a train wreck, an abomination. Stephanie McMahon comes out, and anything that involves Stephanie talking for an extended period of time is just garbage. And then Big Show comes out, and what? He's broke? That's the angle they're going to go with here to force him to fight Daniel Bryan? As soon as Stephanie McMahon said, you are broke, or you don't have any money, Big Show, Big Show starting to cry again. I would have cried too if I was the Big Show having to listen to Stephanie McMahon. I almost did, but then I realized I had legs and I could stand up and walk away from my fucking TV, and that's exactly what I did. I didn't care what else was said. I didn't want to listen to it, and I knew exactly where it was going. It was going right into a fucking shit pile. I mean, this is just fucking terrible. Oh, man. Up next, we got Primetime Players versus Heath Slater and Jinder Mahal. This match was just boring. It was boring right up until Titus O'Neil got the hot tag. When he came in, it got a little more interesting. The crowd, they were popping big for Titus and the Primetime Players. The crowd is actually really starting to get behind the Primetime Players. And that's great. I'm happy to see this team actually going somewhere, finally, after all these years. And Titus O'Neil, he looked very powerful, just throwing Jinder Mahal over top of him, without bending or squatting, just whoop, right over top of his fucking huge-ass body. It looked very impressive. And Titus O'Neil won. He got the pin over Jinder Mahal. And, the last 2 minutes of the match was great, but the rest of it was pretty much garbage. Okay, finally, a bright spot on this show. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton. And they made the stipulation earlier in the night that if Rhodes loses, he's fired. Okay, so right away I'm thinking that's a storyline and that Cody Rhodes is going to lose this match. But I didn't care. The match was decent. It wasn't a great match. I don't even know if I could say it was a good match, but it was the best match of the night so far, if that counts as anything. It got pretty good at the end with, the false finishes, Cody Rhodes almost winning with the Crossroads, I believe. And then Randy Orton, he eventually hit the RKO and won. So then, first, I would have liked to have seen Cody Rhodes kick out of that RKO. You know what I'm saying? It's his career on the line. I feel like, he's fighting for everything, basically. They should have let Cody Rhodes kick out of that RKO, and he wouldn't have even had to have done anything else. Just kick out of the RKO. Randy Orton could have stood him up and just hit him with another RKO, immediately, and then got the pin. But just to show the heart of Cody Rhodes kicking out of at least one RKO would have been cool, but whatever. Triple H comes out, fires Cody Rhodes. It's obviously, like I said, storyline purposes. Maybe he's getting married. He's probably just to take a vacation to go on a honeymoon with his wife. So that's not legitimate. But I am interested to see what's going to happen with Cody Rhodes when he comes back and how he's going to come back, especially with what happened later on in the night with Cody. And after that, we get another bright spot here. We get CM Punk cutting his promo. He basically promises that he's going to beat Curtis Axel at Night of Champions, and he's going to break Paul Heyman's face. He broke his heart, next he's going to break his face. He says people aren't going to like what they see out of CM Punk when he gets his hands on Paul Heyman. This was a good promo. It was intense, CM Punk. He's got me sold on the match. I want to see this match coming up at the pay-per-view. So I like the promo. It was good. Next up, the brightness is gone. We're to Naomi versus Brie versus Natalya in a triple threat #1 contenders match for who gives a fucking shit. Last week I skipped the AJ promo. I did. And I had everybody telling me about how great it was. So I went back and I checked it out, and yeah, it was a good promo. It was pretty cool. I liked it. So I decided this week I was going to give the Divas segment of the show a chance. It was fucking terrible. I hated it. I don't care who won. It was garbage. Maybe they're just worth watching promos for when AJ's talking at least, but not their matches, man. Their matches fucking blow. RVD versus Damien Sandow was next. This match was okay. It was pretty solid. Held my interest. I enjoyed it. RVD won with a very nice 5-star frog splash. I mean, this was a pretty good match. So, this was another bright spot on a very terrible show. And after that, we get a really awesome promo by Cody Rhodes. I mean, to me, Cody Rhodes was the highlight of the show, you know, with this match with Randy Orton, and then this promo before he leaves the arena because he was fired. Security was escorting him out. He talked about, you know, WWE treating his dad like a joke, turning his brother into gold dust, and now he's been fired because Triple H is an asshole, basically is what he said. And it definitely seems like, you know, they're going to involve the whole Rhodes family, possibly, when Cody comes back from being fired, however they bring him back. I think that would be fucking cool, and I am looking forward to that. Up next was this fucking nightmare of a main event, man. Big Show versus Daniel Bryan, and there were a ton of Triple H segments backstage throughout the show. There was Big Show talking to Daniel Bryan at one point. I'm not even going to mention it because it was all fucking trash. I mean, it was just trash. It was all just leading us up to this main event, and this was fucking garbage, man. First of all, this was Big Show's main event. This wasn't about Daniel Bryan. This was about Big Show. Why? This fucker is old. He can't do the things he used to be able to do in the ring anymore. He is fucking past his prime. Why is he getting the majority of the angle of this story 2 weeks before the fucking pay-per-view when it's Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton? This shit's fucking stupid. Number two, why do I have to watch Big Show emote all over the place 2 times in one fucking show? 3 if you count that backstage promo, which I do. So yeah, this shit was fucking garbage. I don't give a shit about the Big Show. Worse than that, I don't even give, like, if you threw up on a pile of shit and dumped it in a fucking garbage dump. I couldn't care less about the Big Show, especially, like, it's already a mess with what they got going on with the corporation and Daniel Bryan, and now you're going to throw Big Show in on top of that? And it was just Big Show moping and crying all over the place. I mean, come on. I can't even go over all the shit that went down in this main event. It was booked like straight to hell, man. Big Show eventually, after what felt like an hour's worth of nonsense, nails Daniel Bryan with the weapon of mass destruction. The Shield hits their triple powerbomb on Daniel Bryan. I don't even know if Daniel Bryan got pinned or if the match was called for disqualification. I don't know. I don't care. This fucking sucked, man. Orton eventually comes out and stands over Daniel Bryan again. 4 shows in a row. It's just getting fucking old. And these guys putting Big Show in the main event, it's not helping, okay? It's getting fucking stupid. So this main event fucking sucked. And overall, this show had way too much Triple H in it. And it was just fucking... It was boring. It was either boring or just fucking garbage. You know, there were only 3 bright spots. That was Orton and Cody Rhodes, CM Punk promo, and the RVD Damien Sandow match, and the Rhodes promo too. But that was real short. But it's still worth checking out. All that was not. Those 4 things was not worth suffering through the rest of the bullshit on this show. It was just fucking terrible. This is a big fat thumbs down. And I really hope... I get what they're trying to do with Triple H. They're trying to treat him like Vince McMahon. He's the Vince McMahon from the Attitude Era. He's all over the show, treating everybody like crap. He's the ultimate villain, the ultimate heel. But The problem is Triple H is not as charismatic on the microphone as Vince McMahon is / was, however you want to put that. He's just not as good as Vince, in my opinion. So he's just killing this fucking storyline, which is taking up the whole show, and Daniel Bryan is just being minimized by all the bullshit they're dumping on top of him. Especially when he never gets his, moment to stand tall above this mountain of trash that he has to compete against. Fucking sucks, man. This was supposed to be better without John Cena. It's getting worse, and it's fucking terrible. JB Squared 61279. I got nothing else to say. This show fucking sucked. See you guys next time. Bye.